Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get ready to suck it! This what the rock is cooking!
You just made the list!
Buckle up. It's time for a drive-by.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Dear Fall Nation, welcome to Drive By. On today's episode, I'm going to do something a little different. Last week, I recorded a little SummerSlam talk preview / a little Baron Corbin talk with none other than the High Five and MFer, AJ Spurgeon, our friend and co-contributor here at the Near Fall Network. But due to some technical difficulties, I was not able to air that in time, but I thought it was a solid wrestling talk, and I think it's only fair that I worked on it and put it out for you guys. Now, that being said, I am taking time out of my day and my restful relaxation in my fortress of solitude as I am on vacation and enjoying not working for a week, but I still wanted to get some enlightenment and wrestling knowledge to your ears. If you watched my SummerSlam post-show, then you'd know how I felt about the show. I also thought NXT was fantastic, probably better than SummerSlam, but that's a matter of opinion. Both solid shows. Now, something that drove me absolutely nuts, and I'm sure, as a matter of fact, I can almost guarantee you there'll be more on this in a future episode of one of the shows here. The fans, the crowd, the beach balls. I mean, we had a beach ball being tossed around during Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose tag team title match. Can you really fathom what that means? To me, it seems as though maybe it's time to move on from 4 shows in Brooklyn. I could be wrong. Maybe that's not what it is. People will sit there and say, what's the fans' distaste with the product? Then why are you buying tickets to 4 different shows? Or, see, if I was in a crowd and there was a beach ball bouncing around and I paid hundreds of dollars to be there, to be in the, close to the ring, to be there for 2, 3, 4 shows, I would be pissed if I was distracted from watching what I paid to watch because some moron wants to toss a beach ball around. It's ridiculous. And it's very disrespectful. As I've stated numerous times, these guys are in there. Yes, they're doing what they love. They're still putting themselves, their bodies, and everything at risk to entertain us, the fan. And when we don't respect that, it starts to get to you can always get to the point of, then why do it? Why should these guys and girls risk their life and their, physical health to put on a show for us if we're going to throw a beach ball around while they're doing it? You want to chant, whatever. I have problems with some of the chants, as I've mentioned before, but literally ignoring the show to entertain yourself and become bigger than the show. That's what these crowds are trying to do. They're trying to become bigger than the show that's actually going on, and it's just downright damn annoying, and it irritates the living shit out of me, and I know I'm not the only one. It was so badass when Cesaro jumped the rail, went out there, took the beach ball, and tore it up. Now, did that hurt? It may have. It may have fueled the fire. It may have gotten more people to think, you know what? They reacted. The wrestlers actually reacted and noticed. So we're going to keep doing this, and we're going to keep this up and keep this charade going. It's ridiculous. Enjoy the show. That's why you're there. Have fun, but don't have fun at the expense of the people who are actually putting on the product that you claim to love and you paid so much money to go and be entertained by. But as I said, that's definitely a future topic for a future show that is not a drive-by, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. I'm going to go into the talk now that I had with AJ. Yes, I know it's a little dated, but I have it. I worked on it. It's edited. It's cleaned up as best I could. And I will tell you also, when I recorded this, as you know, it's a drive-by. I recorded in my vehicle, and I hit a massive monsoon rainstorm, so you do hear some rain. I try to clean it up best I can, so I apologize if it's not perfect, because it's not perfect, but the content is far beyond anything you'll find any of these other morons talking about online. So enjoy sort of kind of episode 20 of Drive-By, but kind of post-dated episode 20 of Drive-By. Guys, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We have so much here. Get your friends to like it. If you like the page, like the YouTube channel. It's all we ask. Helps get our subscribers up, get our Facebook up, and our YouTube. They all go hand in hand. So take a listen to this, share it with your friends, and we'll talk to you soon.
Welcome back, Nearfall Nation, and right now I'm going to bring on a special guest. I have not had him on my show in quite some time, and of course we are no longer part of the Low Spot, now here on the Nearfall Network, so we're thankful for that. And joining me on the line, none other than the high-fiving MFer. How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing good. Just ready to talk about some stuff that went over these past week, or even weeks, and of course SummerSlam. I'm pumped, man, so.
Oh yeah. We're going to hit SummerSlam lightly, because I know you're going to pop on and do a little special on Sunday, if I'm correct on that
correct.
one.
I'm going to like to do it early enough so everybody can check it out on Facebook, but also have it hopefully posted to YouTube if you do have time, because I know you are going to be on vacation. If not, it will be on there later in the week.
All right, sounds good. Now, I want to first touch, and we all kind of talked about this amongst ourselves, and by ourselves, I mean the elitist, or however that is. The elitist. The spelling is really confusing.
It's the plural that makes it confusing, but yeah.
It's so confusing, yeah. But anyway, Baron Corbin losing the briefcase on SmackDown, the go-home SmackDown. I talked earlier about it, and basically the internet exploded, and
well, here's the thing. Let's play devil's advocate here, because I know exactly where you're going, and you've been clear, even on the page. I'm just brief instances of posts on there. It's people blow up early, and this is, like you said, perfect segment for the new show. Keep it classy, guys. But seriously, here's the thing. I get why people blow up about that, because what the internet wrestling community is made up of people that can voice their opinions that normally wouldn't matter, or they don't have the friends around to keep them in check. So they blow up over, oh my god, he cashed in, and he didn't get it, and he must be terrible. But here's the thing, guys, chill out, because they've been saying it months before. I've read in multiple articles, even stuff we had on. There was a spot lower than us. They do that we were a part of before, and there was always stuff brought up about that they wanted to change his character. With him going bald, there was thinking about shaving his head, cutting his hair short, I don't know about that, but they want to change image, change music, and like a little bit of a character development. And I think this would be a good spot. We could see something like that, even possibly as early as Sunday, but maybe more when he's implemented back into the title picture. Because I feel like for now, it's going to be a way of giving him that almost the underdog heel, if you will, like how Daniel Bryan was reaching for so long, finally got it and climaxed, and it was just the best thing ever. I mean, whether you liked him or not, that moment was great, and this could be something that they're bringing and possibly using in a different manner to him. I'm interested just to see how it unfolds. So
I am too, and I actually like the point you just brought up, and I never gave that a thought. The underdog heel. Have we? I'm trying to think if we've seen something like that, or is that something kind of fresh? It would be refreshing if nothing
if you
else.
Think about it. When Austin and Hart were fighting, and they did their I Quit match, Austin didn't go in that match a face. I mean, you know that. He went in there as a guy. You love to hate. He was an asshole. He was like always the one like telling the crowd that they're stupid or shut up, or he would attack people from behind. He would cheat. But when he got thrown in that sharpshooter, blood spilling out from his face, and he passed out, it was not a plan to get this guy over as a heel and Hart as a face. It happened in the moment. Like, people were like, Bret Hart left, and they were just like, man, that guy didn't even give up. He got his ass kicked and he lost. Like, that was a moment where he just kind of got shoved right in, and all of a sudden you start seeing, he was already in their Continental title picture, but you start seeing him kind of, ascend past those guys and then into the heavyweight, or like the heavyweight title picture. And I think, like, is it going to be Austin-esque? I don't know, but I mean, I know one thing. Baron is a good fucking heel. Like, he's a true fucking heel. Like, that we don't have very many. Like, even Kevin Owens, you like him because he's funny, he's smart, he's great on the mic, and he's a great heel. But like, people cheer for him. Baron, Bray Wyatt, people cheer for him. AJ, when he was a heel, you could not cheer for him. But I think Baron is a guy that he gets booed, and it's not because he's bad. He gets booed because he's a very good heel, and he's very manipulative to his role in whatever feud he's in. And I think this could be awesome to see it unfold, and maybe see a different type of Baron Corbin. Which, if he right now, that was a heel that pinned him. Yes, John Cena did this, but this kind of adds the element. So he's obviously the loss of the champion. Cena caused it. We could see him fuck up Cena and then interrupt the title match, and we could see so much different stuff in this. And that's why it sucked not seeing him cash in, because I want to see him as champion, but I don't want to like criticize WWE to the point to where I don't think they can do anything. I want to give him some credit and see where it goes.
Right, and I mean, as we said, time will tell. There's a story to tell. I mean, wrestling's good when we tell stories. Yep. So let's see if there's a story here. And this kind of goes into something else I wanted to talk to you about, as I've been reading more stuff. Everything that happens, the internet reacts with, and I don't know if this is Meltzer's fault or the dirt sheet's fault or whatever, but everything that appears, and I say appear because I don't know, I'm not an insider,
right?
But everything that appears negative to the fan, Corbin losing the briefcase, all the reports of Enzo having backstage heat, but I think most of that shit's made up. Saying that they're canceling Mike Bennett's push because he's out of shape and they were underimpressed. The guy had 2 matches.
His matches are good. Like, they might be short or whatever.
Right.
He moves good, and that guy, I hate the gimmick. It's stupid, man. And I hope they're.
I love the gimmick. Give it time.
I know where they're going. I just don't like the fact that I like this whole love thing. Like, that just is like, ugh. I like to see him be. I don't know. I guess we'll see how creative does with it, and hopefully they give him a chance. I really like watching him wrestle. So I don't care what they have him doing. If he's Ted in Ted 3 and he comes out and he's Ted from now on, he'd still be a good wrestler.
Right. But I mean, all this stuff that I'm reading, and everything's a punishment. Everything is punishment for something.
Yeah. Like
Baron Corbin lost the briefcase. Yeah. Right, because he told off Meltzer, and he's mean to people on Twitter, where I said earlier, if you haven't seen Kevin Owens' Twitter feed,
you need to.
You need to, for one, and for two, I don't think it'd be okay for him to do it and Baron Corbin to not. Like, that's ridiculous. Could
that be punishment for unless it's something in the locker room that they kept squashed? It's not because of that, like, for sure. Because that guy,
right?
I mean, Meltzer gets in the middle
and
of
then,
it,
like,
and a lot of times it's kayfabe. They're doing that shit just to get. He's doing it so he can get people to listen and read what he says and writes.
To get himself over.
And it helps the character.
Yep.
Like, you're like, I can't wait to see what he says this time, because, man, he gives him so much shit. Like, it's fun. Like, that's what part of the wrestling that separates it from being a sport is the entertainment side that they get a lot on there, and I'm okay with that. Like, I like that. I've always appreciated the entertainment side of it. It's fake, I know. I'm fine with understanding that I love something that's not real. That's okay. But I really, to lose to that, I that's crazy. Like, but like you said, it's internet wrestling community. They just say shit to say.
Right, and I mean, like, you know, the latest, Enzo's getting put in the shark cage because he's in trouble. It's punishment. Like, you know, Bennett's push is canceled push is punishment. Like,
do you think Enzo turns heel Sunday? Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't split up.
I hope so. Maybe this was a work the whole time.
Bro.
I don't know what for.
Maybe if you change it, or it changes because you're like, you know what? Maybe we should do as heels. Maybe we'll try that. Like, maybe it was something that wasn't planned. You know, maybe it was just something that they did change last minute. We see dropping down a foreign object, helping Cass out. They get him down. But here's what I'm most excited about in this whole rivalry. Anderson and Gallows come out to help Big Cass. Please give us a stable.
Right.
Please give us a stable. Please give
us
a fucking
we
stable.
gotta do that stable show we talked about.
Man, I want one so bad, and like, they just tease with stuff like, here's the Shield. We'll get into our Shield thing in a little bit, but we'll let you continue off, because I will sit here and take us all over the place with that. But we'll get back to the Rollins and Ambrose. But I digress.
Yes, for sure. For sure, but and we'll get to that we'll get to that here in a second. But basically, I guess what I'm trying to say, and it sounds like you're on the same page as me. Like, everybody overreacts to everything that's reported anymore, and everything is a punishment. Like, could you imagine if your boss at your job wasn't happy with you, so they were like, "Well, we're just going to hang you in a shark cage"? Like, that's the most ridiculous. And I know it's wrestling, so it is ridiculous. But maybe it's just a story, guys.
It's a way to put him in the match.
Calm down.
It's a way to integrate Enzo a part of the match without it being a 2-on-1, and to where you're like, oh, well, how is he going to get involved if he's not allowed at ringside? Oh, he's above the ring. Oh, you know, it's just a fucking match type, man. That's it.
Exactly.
Does it have something to do with the outcome? Probably. Guarantee it will, but it is what it is. It's not a punishment.
It's crazy. Okay, before we get into SummerSlam, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this topic, but we're discussing it, and just because we're going to go to a quick break here, but before that, it's just a simple answer. On a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed are you that the IC title belt and The Miz are not a part of SummerSlam?
It can't happen. It can't happen. They have to. They have. This is in plan. They're going to do something on the card that's going to put Miz out there defending the title either against Jason Jordan or a returning opponent. Maybe even Adam Cole. Maybe Adam Cole comes out and takes the IC title from Miz at SummerSlam. I don't. This is preposterous. This is crazy that the second most important title in WWE right now, arguably. Right now, the second most important title. To me, the Universal title is the main card title for Raw, and Raw is the flagship brand. But let's be real here, man. This is the IC title. These are guys, legends. Now, more legends held this than the WWE title, because you're seeing guys like Piper who didn't get a title. You're talking about Mr. Perfect. You're talking about IRS. You have guys, so many guys, like good wrestlers that never got a title shot held this belt. And it's always been that, and it's and recently in the last probably last year and a half, 2 years, it has come back to its level of prestige that it should have been at. And through the ruthless aggression, it lost its because they had so many titles. When you had the ECW's all 3 titles, WCW's titles, WWE's titles, and then once that transitioned down, you're seeing guys like holding the IC title that had no business getting a title shot. Jack Swagger, but the world title, get out of here. So they cannot
shut that shit down.
You cannot have the IC title not in the show. I say it has to be. I'm telling you, there's going to be a match involving The Miz defending his title at SummerSlam. So to me, the answer to that question, long way back around, 10. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, I'm a 10 with you. And so is Ty Dillinger. Okay, Nearfall Nation, hang tight. I'm just going to take a quick break. Me and AJ are going to regroup, and I'm going to learn how to speak, and we will be right back. Welcome back, Nearfall Nation. We're going to wrap today's drive-by up with a little bit, I'm not going to say a SummerSlam preview. I used to do that. That was the old spot. This is the Nearfall Nation. So we're just going to touch on it. We're going to touch on it and just kind of hit some of the highlights, what we think might stand out. So first thing, I'll just go right to it. The Fatal 4-Way. Does Brock Lesnar leave with the championship, or does he leave and go fight in the UFC? To kayfabe leave, because he's under contract till WrestleMania. We know that. But I don't know. I know that there's supposedly Barclays ruined it by sending out a tweet that he's going to be on Raw, but that doesn't mean he couldn't lose and show up on Raw and just destroy everybody and then leave, which would be freaking awesome.
Yes.
So I still think I'm going to go with Joe winning the title if someone wins it, but I don't know, but that's going to be my pick. So do you think Lesnar leaves with the title or without it?
Okay, I'm going to integrate a previous point I was bringing up before I stopped. I'm going the long shot here, and the reason I'm saying this is because when WrestleMania came, and we have this 3-way tag team title match on there, and in the heart of hearts, I was like, man, I feel like the Hardy's gonna be there. And then when me and Mike, we ran the podcast to the pre-show to the pre-show,
right?
And I was like, he was like, they're not even. He's like, look, it's a 3-way title. It's a 3-way match. It's not even 4 teams. It's not even 4-way. I was like, yeah, you know what? That's a good point. But I remember like back when they brought the ladders out. And then the next Raw, they were like, it's going to be a 3-way ladder match. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, it's Hardys. They're coming. And I went past in my heart of hearts. I feel like with the title, not only is Roman Reigns going to get the title, I'm going a long shot. And he is going to get the title by Dean and Seth interrupting. And whether it is a long-term thing or not, I want to see this, so maybe it doesn't happen. But Roman gets the title because Dean and Seth come out and just help destroy the other competition. Because I think, like, maybe in this instant, it's not going to be those 3 would take out those 3. Braun's going to be down. Brock's going to be hurt. They're going to get Joe. Then they go over and get Brock, and they go over and get Braun, and then he pins. Like, that's the way it would have to happen. Like, they would not come in there and just destroy everybody because in this case, if they, in my opinion, they would have won the tag titles, and and then maybe the Shield music hits and they come out. I don't know, but all I know is I'm looking for a big SummerSlam surprise. That's my big SummerSlam surprise: the Shield 2.0, and Roman's the champion. I'm going with Roman.
I literally love everything you just spelled out. And now I'm going to be super disappointed if it doesn't happen.
I know.
So if it doesn't happen, and I do my review, and I'm like, yeah, SummerSlam sucked, and it's AJ's fault. It's your fault. So
but tell me
just
how much
that.
you will mark out if that happens, bro.
Dude, I will. Yeah, I'll jump off the couch if that shit goes down, because that would be. If we're in the middle of the match and you just hear Sierra Hotel, oh my god. If that phonetic alphabet starts over the loudspeaker and the old school Shield beginning starts, I just might literally poop my pants on the couch because I scream so hard.
I'm telling you,
that would be awesome.
It is. Well, here's the thing: it's been brought up, it's been teased and teased and teased and teased. I've been saying this. I've told my buddy because he's a huge Dean Ambrose fan, Shield fan, and I was like, bro, he's gonna turn on Seth. He's gonna turn on Seth. But I was like, but what if he don't? What if he don't?
Right.
Because this is something that well, here's the thing: it keeps these two relevant and powerful without losing title matches. And that's what helps. If they are carrying the tag titles for a little bit, that's totally awesome. And keep them there and do that. If that's not the idea, just make Dean heel. But I just feel like that they could do that and run with this so well.
Here, we'll even run with your idea, and we'll keep painting this fantasy picture because I like this.
Yeah.
What if? Okay, so we've got Lesnar, who if he leaves or if he loses the title, he's going to leave. Is what he said.
Yep.
But I've also seen rumors that I think it's No Mercy will be coming up, and that the planned main event is Strowman versus Brock. What if that still happens, and it's not for a title because Brock doesn't have the title, and it's because in the Fatal 4-Way, those two kind of get locked up with each other
from the match.
And literally beat the hell out of each other till they're not even in the match anymore. And it's down to Roman and Joe, and then your shit goes down. Holy cow. Best SummerSlam ever.
Right, dude. I'm telling. Well, the thing is WWE are good about using SummerSlam as the Mania of the summer. That is the halfway point till next year, which isn't geographic or isn't actually chronologically or the way it works out. But that's the first biggest pay-per-view of the new year, which is what's after Mania, and they're good about using it as a platform to have certain things happen with we know the cash-ins out. Maybe Carmella does, but we're talking about the heavyweight division for the men. We know the cash outs not in play now. Okay, so Baron Corbin being champion after the match or somebody else wins or whatever the outcome is out of the picture. Is Shane turning heel as the referee a big point? Would be no, not really. SmackDown is really good about using their platform as well. They're good about surprising. This is too predictable. But I'm just thinking, and I've been wanting to happen. I'm hoping. I said on all my shows, I'm willing this to happen. It's going to happen. This would be a great time. SummerSlam. They win the tag titles and then come out in the last match, like you said. It has to be an instant where there's only Roman and somebody else. There's going to be whatever combination, and I like that. That the idea is perfect because with Braun and Brock being a part of that, maybe that's the way he actually exits, or maybe he don't. Maybe he doesn't have a match. But point being, in this scenario, that's the way it would have to happen. Those guys are away from it. Joe's about to win, and all of a sudden you hear the Shield music hit. And then you see these guys come down. And they come down from the fucking steps, not from the fucking, the entranceway. And they just corner him, and they get him all at the fence. He's looking around, and then boom, hits with the spear. Match over. Or maybe they do set up into a triple powerbomb. That would be great too. But I would be okay with either scenario. And I'm telling you, I want it to happen so bad, I'm willing it to happen. It's Roman Reigns wins the title.
Well, I'm willing it with you because that whole scenario we just painted is the greatest thing ever. I don't care who's booking it. We should be booking this, and that's the way it should go down.
They've been teasing that too long. And with Roman, they're looking for the ultimate Roman push. Last time it was Roman and Seth were the tag champions, and Dean was the guy. Well, the tide has turned. Dean and Seth are stale. I'm okay because I love Seth. And I always root for Dean because it's Shield. But this would be great. Perfect storm. With these guys need titles, but we don't want them champions. So let's give them tag titles. and they run the tables for a while, and Roman's the champion, and they help him run the table for a while until, say, WrestleMania. At least WrestleMania. I
love it. And here, and you know, we'll keep painting this picture because we can still, that could still work with Lesnar saying he's going to leave because he could come on Raw, try to destroy everyone.
And he gets attacked by the Shield.
You know, or he gets attacked by Braun.
Yeah, either way.
And then, you know, that sets up, he's like, well, I'm done. I quit, but I want Braun. So they do like an quote-unquote unsanctioned match.
Yeah, like an exhibition match like Seth and Triple H did.
And a smart thing for them to be, because I don't think Braun should lose, because you want to keep him, because he's going to be the next monster. He is the next
I love Braun
Lesnar,
Strowman. And the reason I love Braun Strowman is half because of Roman Reigns. The rivalry those guys have. One of your friends or somebody on there
Fight forever.
said that was like, I'm so tired of this. I'm like, what?
I don't know how.
What?
I don't know how.
This is so great. This has been. It's giving both those guys a platform and working with somebody that they can actually use their power stuff. You know,
I could literally watch those two giant men beat the living dog shit out of each other every Monday night. It's fantastic.
Dude, I was talking with my buddy, and he was doing stuff. We had meme ideas, and I was like, I got one. It's roses are red, Flair has a private jet. I don't know what you think, Roman, but I'm not finished with you yet.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
That's awesome. I love that shit, man. I love everything about their rivalry, their fucking matches. Like, bro, if they ever...
That's a meme right
there.
If
they ever put those two on a team, holy shit, they could destroy the whole roster. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. That's fantastic. Yep. Well, let's talk about the other title match, the WWE Championship.
And it sucks. It's at that title, and it's referred to as the other. And it is. It's...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you've been a very big supporter of the gender experiment. You backed it. You were talking about with Mike the other day about playing it out, see what happens. He thinks it's done. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. When you say I'm a supporter of seeing new guys get a chance, and my problem is everyone's already thumbs down on Jinder, and I literally don't think the guy's gotten an opportunity, and here's why. Yeah, he's the champ, but he's only went against, since being the champ, other than this Tuesday against Cena, he's fought Randy Orton, and he hasn't fought the Viper of Randy Orton. He hasn't fought the RKO out of nowhere Randy Orton. He hasn't fought the Wyatt family Randy Orton. He's fought, I'm going to cash a paycheck today and just go do what I got to do Randy Orton.
Because you're already seeing that Orton, you're already seeing the good Randy Orton with Rusev right off the bat. I think that guy should be a good rivalry.
Exactly. Which tells me that Orton didn't want to do this whole thing and was just doing it because he was being told to. Yep. And for whatever reason, he probably, I'm going to guess that he probably, not that he had anything against Jinder, he probably saw the plan of we're going to fight 3 times, and he just wasn't invested in that. And I don't blame him, but at the same time, damn it, Orton and Jinder could have had probably a quality feud if both guys were invested, and I only think one guy was.
Well, and here's the thing with that, too. With Orton's a very traditional guy. Guys gave him a lot of shit about he's underperformer, he could have been so much better. He's a 13-time champion, and in my opinion, Randy has always been a really good champion. Sometimes they don't put the right story around him, but I mean, even the whole authority thing, it was just you made Randy. Randy can be a heel and not be a pussy and not be a hide behind somebody. But they did that anyway, and he'll make it work as best he can. But that's not his character. You need to give him a little bit more flexibility from that stand. But here's the thing: when you offer that rivalry, and you're telling hey, Jinder's going to beat you for the title. Well, who the fuck is Jinder? Where is the storyline? He literally came out of nowhere. Yeah. He was with Rusev for a couple weeks. Out of nowhere
with no build.
And it's hard to play with something like that because Randy's good at building long feuds. Whether you like the John Cena feud that him and Orton had back and forth, they had longevity to it. They were good about making it elevate when it needed to. They were good at implementing stuff outside of the ring into it with his dad and attacking him, and then they were good at building that stuff. It just always wasn't a great product in the ring. But with Jinder, it was like they just didn't. It was like, we're going to give you the least amount to work with, and it's your job to make something out of it. Some guys can do that, some guys can't. I think he'll be a champion again. They're just hoping that they were looking to see if maybe they had a diamond in the rough, and I don't think they do. I think he can be.
Yeah, and
sorry, that's my son.
Little guest spot there. That's fine.
That's a little grand man. But like, it's just
that's awesome.
I don't think it's so much, like I said, I don't think it's a failed experiment as much as it was a failed opportunity to see something they were hoping it was better or good enough to be. I don't know if I said that right, but like, you have this guy that has great physique, but he was never anything before this, and that's cool. He gets a shot,
right? But
you didn't give any time for this to do something with. If you tell Randy Orton this is going to be like a 6-month rivalry, I think it'd have been great. But it's hard. It's hard to get, because here's the problem: is the fans, you're using the fucking foreign heel, boring,
right?
And you just got done with it, Rusev.
Right.
It's like, come on now.
Right.
2 is you got a guy that hasn't worked with none of these main event guys in long matches, so we're going in here. Some people can do that, some people can't. I think he didn't do a terrible job, but he didn't impress anybody like enough to where he would hold the title long term. I think maybe by the time we get back to India in September, he's not the champion. I think Shinsuke wins. You're going to let Shinsuke run with this, maybe till Mania, maybe not.
I think so too, because I think Jinder can always come back, and you can even fix this. I think the way that it probably should have went, if they wanted Jinder, I mean, obviously, if they were doing it for the India thing, then they were kind of rushed on it, and I get that. But if you
could have kept it on
Randy.
About it, you could have kept him and Randy fighting longer.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right. But if he would have won, like, say, the U.S. Championship, which is technically a higher rated belt at this point in time, in my mind, but let's say he won the U.S. Championship, he could do the whole anti-America thing,
make
blah.
An India belt instead, and put that where basically
100%.
Yeah, that would 100%. Totally do it over, dude.
And then once he finally loses that, now push him into the championship picture, and then by that time,
it's believable.
Maybe we turn him good. You know what I mean? Turn him face. Let him be, all about it, and it could have been so different. I think I don't want to say they're pulling a plug on the Jinder experiment, but I think
they're just taking.
They know that
they know what direction they can go.
It's not resonating.
Yeah,
and they know what they have in Shinsuke. And I also, this is just my little conspiracy theory, and I know I hate everything as a conspiracy theory now, but let's just throw this out there. New Japan's out here trying to make waves in the American waters, right? Yep. They put their U.S. title on Kenny Omega, the most recognized, I know he's Canadian, but he's the most recognized face they probably have
for sure.
in New Japan, on the North American soil. So, wouldn't it make sense if WWE wanted to combat, I'm not saying they're combating New Japan on U.S. soil, but let's pull some of that Japanese market, let's put our title on their guy.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be crazy to have Shinsuke have this opportunity and not have him win. Like, he's the kind of guy that should win a championship on his first attempt.
And at SummerSlam. Like, that's
giving, at a big deal.
That's putting clout in that championship win. Not just his first title opportunity, but this is doing it at the second biggest pay-per-view event, arguably maybe the most entertaining sometimes, because WrestleMania was really good last year. I'm not
right,
but not every year. It's not like that every year. You hope for the best. There's a lot of good entertainment, but when you're seeing your big matches not pulling their weight, it makes it hurt. So if you have Shinsuke win that down there, oh man, he's
and here's the thing, and I'm sure. See, this is where it gets kind of muddled for me with what I want to say, because I'm sure that the 4-way will be the actual final match,
yes.
But if you really think about the last few pay-per-views since Mania, and even including Mania, because Undertaker was technically retired, that's even though Roman's technically the face, both guys were faces, so it is what it is, and people were pissed because Undertaker's done and Roman beat him.
Right.
Now, the last string of pay-per-views, it's ended pretty much with a heel winning. Heel winning, heel winning, heel winning.
Well, the
bad guys
pay-per-view,
win,
what was it?
good guys
when they were
lose.
in Chicago, I'm pretty sure it was all heels won, but one woman won, and that was it. And the next pay-per-view was the same thing.
Right, and if you know anything, if you listen to anything, you listen to the people who are in the business, and, you know, I talk all the time about the Bruce Pritchard show. He always says that Vince likes to leave on a high note on big shows. He likes people to be happy.
Right.
What better way to make people happy at the end of the show than to have frickin' Shinsuke Nakamura win that damn belt?
Dude.
You imagine? Let's just put both our scenarios together. Your Shield scenario and the Shinsuke winning. That, dude, people would be thumbs up on this SummerSlam no matter what happens in the undercard matches.
Especially with the Hardys not being on the card, the IC title not having a spot now. But like I said, there's no way that they do not have that title on the show. I guarantee that Miz wrestles and defends his title.
I hope you're right.
And it would be great if maybe, like we said, we've been waiting on this Adam Cole thing this whole time. What if Adam Cole shows up there and challenges him for the IC title during this Miz TV and goes out there and beats him? And Adam Cole jumps right in the picture, IC champion. They did it with Finn Balor. His first big pay-per-view, he comes in and he wins the Universal title.
Yeah, the only hiccup I'll throw there is, you know, Adam Cole reportedly signed with NXT.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So,
well,
yeah.
Okay.
But that, I mean, we're not really going to get into that because that's a whole other thing. And we love NXT here at the Nearfall Network, but we don't have the manpower to cover it. So I don't want to go too in depth. But I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Cole's involved in the Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre match there at the Takeover.
Even that, even if that, if let's say that, even if that doesn't happen, they always get the cameo right there. Hey, look, it's our newest signing, blah blah blah.
Yep.
I just, oh man, I can't wait for Adam Cole, man. That guy is going to be so great. He's going to, like, that's what NXT needed, that sign. The Drew McIntyre signing was huge. They needed that. And because what he did everywhere else he was besides WWE, he was great. And now you throw in Adam Cole to the mix with Bobby Roode still down there. This is a situation where we had like Shinsuke, Samoa Joe, and Finn Balor. Right before Finn left, we had these other two guys coming. It's like, holy shit. And now, like, we'll see, I think, a really good set of pay-per-views for the takeovers and even the shows. I mean, now they don't get to see all the big guys every show, which is good because it's just an hour long and that works for it. But I really look to see some really good stuff out of NXT, like you said.
Yep, always. Well, I think we've had a pretty solid Wrestle Talk. We touched on a few things. We're not going to, like I said, overbear you guys with it. AJ, do you have anything else that you want to add or say to the people? All the Nearfall Nation?
I look on a final note. There's a couple things to touch upon and leave. Not to elaborate, just kind of go over. One, I really look to see. I know I read something where they said the broken gimmicks, they're not going to even discuss it anymore with WWE, is what they're saying. But I look for them guys to get over and hopefully have that sometime soon, because I'm telling you guys have not seen it. If you see it, it's going to be great, and it'll be awesome. The Hardys,
they'll figure something.
I feel like the Hardys just victim of circumstance with Revival not being in. Also, I look for, we get to see the Authors of Pain shortly with the Superstar Shakeup. We're going to have all it has constant rumors, and it'll be Monday and Tuesday after SummerSlam. We're going to see each roster displaying their new guys. I look possibly see Finn Balor and SmackDown. That'd be great. I don't know exactly. Maybe Randy Orton goes to Raw. I know Cena's probably going.
Right.
And there was, like I said, I hope we see Big Cass with Anderson and Gallows. We get a little stable action going. Really hoping that this pay-per-view, I think, is going to cement all through Royal Rumble, and be really excited to see that. Other than that, guys, Mike Shooter, I appreciate you having me on. Like he said,
absolutely.
Sunday I will have a prediction show, which will consist of the elitists and all of our choices of who we think to win the match, as well as I'll have a fan poll as well. We're going to have the fans versus the elitists. Ultimately, we'll have a little bit of challenge between ourselves, but that's what we're going to do. See if the elitists can outdo the fans here. We'll post the results the following, that'll be the next day, so Monday. And can't wait for you guys to check it out. Hopefully have it up to YouTube. If not, it'll at least be on Facebook.
Yeah, it'll definitely be on Facebook. YouTube might be there a couple days late, but it'll be there eventually. Guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been real. It's been fun. We'll see you next week.